What's goody, future nation members? It's your boy Wavy Marty, man, and welcome to the channel. If you're new, welcome back to the channel, man. And look, we got the 6 most disturbing forest encounters caught on camera. But I just took a fatty, like a super fat dab. So I'm gonna need y'all to lock in with me. We gonna hop right into this shit, man, because this shit kind of crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Let's get it,
The
brother.
Rampant Range is part of a front range of the Rocky Mountains in Colorado, made up of almost entirely public land within the Pike National Forest. In the summer, you'll find lots of bikers enjoying the Rampant Range's elaborate trail system and exploring the great outdoors. For the most part, this part of Colorado is a paradise for anyone who enjoys spending time in nature. But over the past few years, there's been a pretty alarming trend on the rise, with random people setting up wires on trees at just about head height in an effort to seriously injure bikers on the trail. In 2019,
Yo, that's crazy. Somebody setting up wires to like potentially like do that to somebody is wild. It's wild. And like, I don't know if the bikers knew about this shit, but if I was a biker and I knew that there was some shit out there that could potentially take my damn head off, I'm not biking that trail, bro. I'm sorry, I'm moving on.
a post describing this terrifying trend was uploaded to Facebook. And disturbingly, the uploader mentioned that one of his high school friends had lost his life as a result of running into a similar wire on a trail. Immediately, people jumped into the comments to point out how incredibly messed up it would be to do something like this, and how this kind of evil needs to be categorized as attempted murder if the suspects are ever caught. A couple of years before that post was made, in 2017, 2 motorbike riders uploaded a video to YouTube of their encounter with a similar wire, and although nothing happened to them, it was a very close call.
Ooh. Oh my god. You see? Yo. Shout out to the reaction time on that, because I still just don't understand how like people just do that, bro. And just like what's the motive behind that, bro? Like what the like, that's crazy. Like, what are you trying to get out of that, bro? Like, I just don't understand. I literally don't understand. But that's wild, man. I'm glad they saw it though, man.
When these wires are set up off-trail, it can be hard to tell whether they were placed there out of malice or if a random camper or farmer placed the wires there to hang up clothes or something similar. But in cases like these where the wires are specifically placed on the trail, there's really only one reason people would do that, and that's to bring serious harm to bikers for some reason. Possibly they're annoyed with the constant loud sound of the bikes near their property or something else. But hopefully...
Okay, like, if you're annoyed with the loud sounds at the property, don't fucking try to, like, take someone's head off, man. Like, that's wild. Like, just call the police or just try to do something, but, like, or move. Like, what the hell? Like, you, like, I don't know. What would y'all do in that situation if, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if some shit was just going crazy at the crib, bro. Like...
More measures can be taken in the future to prevent more people from getting hurt, especially because it's not uncommon to hear about motorbikers and snowmobilers losing their lives over this kind of stuff. This audio was uploaded to YouTube by a user named ForestFire21. He recorded it around 2 a.m. in December 2014. The uploader lives in a forest, and he mentioned that the noises in the audio were coming from deep in the woods behind his house.
I'm sorry. I'm not finna go help you, bro. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I can't go help you, dog. I am not walking in the pitch black, in the middle of nowhere, in the wilderness, in the woods. I don't care if it was in front of your house, side of your house, behind you. I don't care. I call me messed up, bro. I'm not going out there to help you. I'm just not doing it. I'm sorry. I can't do that.
It's hard to make out what the child is yelling, but after listening closely, several users jumped in the comments to point out that you can also hear an adult voice yelling, "Where are you?" In addition to the young female voice making most of the noise, this quieter, more subtle male voice that can also be heard in the audio only makes the whole incident that much more disturbing. Near the end of the video, the uploader mentions that after that night, he checked the news every day to see if he could find some explanation for the screams, but he never did. The fact that the screaming was captured at around 2 a.m. in the freezing cold weather and in the middle of the woods indicates that the uploader could have genuinely recorded something pretty sinister taking place that night. It's hard to tell why the uploader would record and upload the audio instead of immediately calling the police after hearing a female voice in such obvious distress. But
yeah, I would just call. I would have just called the police.
And who knows? Maybe the uploader did call the police.
Something.
There wasn't much context given in the video's description. We can only hope that whatever problem happened that night was eventually solved, but based on the shrillness of the screams...
I do want to say this, though. If that was something like what we think it could be, I just hope that whoever it was is safe. You know what I'm saying? But me personally, I'm going to say it again. I'm not going to go, out there and just run just in the dark. Like, it could be a trap, it could be anything. There's a lot of wild stuff that goes on, like, you know what I'm saying? So like, you just don't even know what you're getting yourself into at that point. So it's best I just call the police, and just let them handle that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But that's is what it is for me, bro. I don't know.
Strangeness of the whole situation, we probably won't ever be able to know for sure.
Yeah, man.
Lisa is a life coach and YouTuber who often uploads videos of what it's like living in her van and traveling the country on her own. One afternoon in 2022, Lisa had parked her van on the side of the road and left the side door of her van open while she cooked her dinner inside, when suddenly a sketchy-looking guy approached her, poked his head in her van without her permission, and started asking her some pretty bizarre questions in French, a language Lisa doesn't speak.
That's wild.
When she mentioned she didn't understand what he was saying, he pulled out a translator app to try to communicate with her, which obviously made her pretty uncomfortable, especially since she wasn't interested in talking to him in the first place.
Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. I don't know you. I'm not even about to waste my time to even pull out a translator app to even figure out what the hell you're talking about, brother. Get away from my vehicle. Get out of my car. I don't care, bro. I don't care. I don't care. Get away.
After he invaded her personal space. After watching the guy struggle to use Google Translate for a few minutes, Lisa decided she'd had enough and shut the side door in his face, also closing the curtain to make sure the guy got the hint.
Thank you.
Strangely, for over half an hour, the guy then stood outside in the rain and tinkered with the translator app to try to communicate with Lisa, even after she made it more than obvious that she wanted nothing to do with him.
See, now you being weird now, bro. Time for you to move around, bro. Now you're just being weird. Time for you to move around.
Okay, he just moved even closer so that I can't move out and so that I can't go forward.
Did you call the cops or somebody?
Please leave. Please leave, you sketchy person. Please leave.
She sound like she got the fire on her, but she don't want to use it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
With a very shady demeanor, the man snuck into the bushes and pretty much just stalked Lisa from a distance, as if he thought she couldn't see him. As the sun began to set, Lisa kept an eye on the guy outside to make sure he didn't try to get close to her again, but the man just kept on bringing his car closer to her van and blocking her exit in different ways for more than half an hour.
This guy is really starting to freak me out. It's been like a half an hour and he just keeps on moving his vehicle so he can see in my van here.
Why is you recording? Call the cops, leave, I don't know. Why, Chillin' Scared said the sun started setting. So they was sitting there for a minute. Why are you still sitting there? Leave. Let's get up out of there. try to at least. I wouldn't be sitting there
Anyway, so
recording. Maybe
yeah,
her shit don't work out.
it's 7 o'clock, 7 p.m.
Fortunately, just as darkness had begun to set in, a family in an RV pulled up right behind Lisa and spent the night in the same parking lot as her, which comforted her enough to stay there the entire evening. Disturbingly, the guy left soon after the other
God be working in mysterious ways, bro. I swear, bro.
family arrived, but came back about 3 hours later in the dead of night to check if Lisa was still there. When he saw the other family in the RV was also still in the parking lot, he left and didn't come back. The next morning, Lisa left early and never saw the guy again. It's hard to tell what the guy's exact intentions were, but based on his overall sketchy demeanor and questionable behavior, they couldn't have been anything good. The one thing we can be sure about is that it's a good thing the other family in the RV arrived at the parking lot when they did.
Yep.
Otherwise, who knows what the man would have done to Lisa.
People be
In May 2014, an Imager user uploaded a blog post where he
crazy
talked
shit,
about the
bro.
time he went to visit a friend in northern Germany. According to the uploader, his friend told him about these pipes that he had found in the woods near his house that stuck up out of the ground like periscopes. Apparently, his friend and his siblings played near the pipes as kids and knew that there were bunkers hidden below them, but their parents never allowed them to get near them out of concern for their safety. During the visit narrated in the blog post, the uploader and his friend decided to check out the pipes and finally go down into the bunkers that they never had permission to explore when they were younger, and they found some pretty disturbing stuff. A few hundred feet away from the trees, they found the entrance to the bunker covered with a loosely placed piece of wood that they easily removed with a crowbar. Once inside, all they could see were these long, seemingly endless hospital-like hallways that extended for thousands of feet under the woods. As they ventured further and further into the maze of tunnels, they found graffiti on some of the walls, indicating they weren't the first people to get the idea to explore the underground bunkers. To the explorers' horror, one of the walls deep inside the tunnels had the word "help" in German graffitied all over it. It's possible that it was just sprayed on there by another group of teens trying to be funny, but the eerie nature of the bunker coupled with the general state of disarray really makes you wonder if something more sinister took place down there at some point, possibly even written by German soldiers in the later parts of World War II. As they traveled deeper into the bunker, they found some more disturbing graffiti, with one of the eeriest messages reading, "Hello Satan, I love you." Obviously, that's not the kind of message you want to see in a tunnel system like this, but the two friends decided to keep on exploring anyway.
Y'all kept going. I'm gone. I'm gone. Say my prayer. Let Jesus protect me. And I'm gone. Turn it around. I would have turned around when I seen the 77,000 foot hallway. I'm gone. I'm sorry. All right, bro. See, this shit got me tweaking now, bro. I'm hearing shit.
After several hours down in the bunker, they ended up finding tons of more twisting, winding hallways, flooded rooms with old machines, and dark, narrow corridors that reached dead ends, but nothing more disturbing than the graffiti they had found a few hours earlier. The explorers managed to make it out of there safely and didn't go back there again.
Thank you. Why would you go there?
In the summer of 2016, reports started surfacing that people were finding dangerous booby traps along a very well-known hiking trail in the High Mountain Park Preserve in Wayne, New Jersey. As per the police reports, the traps mostly consisted of boards with nails sticking out of them, barbed wire, broken bottles placed along the trails behind or near rocks or logs, and other treacherous materials. As more and more complaints started coming in, police warned people to keep an eye out for the traps and even organized cleanup efforts to keep hikers safe during their treks. What's most disturbing is that these traps were clearly placed there to hurt people, as there's really no other reason to put nails and barbed wire on the ground in the middle of such a popular hiking trail. The fact that someone
that's like some old school like booby trap war type shit, like that board, like this board right here, like up here, bro. It's like, didn't they used to use that shit back in like the war and shit? They used to cover it with like leaves, and you step on it, and that fucking big ass bob or whatever that fucking shit was would just go straight through your foot. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
Time to get out on the trail, build a booby trap in such detail, and place it there with the intention to do harm to other people and their pets is honestly pretty messed up. But it didn't take the cops too long to make an educated guess as to who was behind the whole thing. Although they never found the individual suspects responsible for placing the traps on the trail, the sheriff's department determined that the traps had probably something to do with the feud between hikers and bikers who had been fighting over use of the trail for decades. According to many nearby residents, it's common for bikers on the trail to speed past the hikers without ringing their bells or announcing their presence, which has led to several injuries and rising tensions between the two groups over the years. Still, it's hard to imagine that someone would take the issue to the point of trying to harm an entire group of people so maliciously with such brutal methods. Fortunately, no one was hurt as a result of the traps, but the suspects responsible were never found.
That's crazy. That's wild, bro. That's wild.
As they filmed.
That's wild. I ain't even gonna lie, bro. I'm still kind of shooken up. I thought I heard some shit over here. I ain't even gonna lie. But it's your boy Wavy, man. Wavy Marty, man. That was the sixth. Well, some of the most disturbing shit that I've ever seen. Yeah. I'll see y'all in a little bit.